What up, homies? Welcome to episode 52 of our Disco Elysium playthrough. We have been talking to a whole bunch of people the last couple of days, and that's pretty much what Joyce asked of us earlier. So today we'll be back at her boat and learn more about the strike, about the paramilitary contractors that have been sent to Martinez by the oligarchy, and about the dangers that are looming. It's another Talk to Joyce episode, but this will actually be the last one of those before we face the final stretch of the game. So let's get ready to talk about politics, about power dynamics, and the heartless, soulless reasoning of capitalist interests. Thanks for coming by, and enjoy! What up, homies? Welcome back to Disco Elysium, the final cut, and hopefully also the final stretch. So it's been a hot minute, and I feel like we've been in this game very, very long. And I think we're coming to an end here, slowly but surely. We still got a bunch of things to do, as we usually do once I start another recording session, and it's been a while, to be honest. We'll go through all the stuff we have to do. It's a pretty quick task to go through this. We basically still have to do some things with Klasia up there on the rooftop. But this quest here, get the whole story from Titus, I don't really know. I guess we got to talk to her again, but we also wanted to do that alone when what's my partner's name? When he is not around. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Kim, right. Do that when Kim is not around. So we're going to do that tonight, ideally. I don't think it doesn't say that there's a specific time that we have to do that, because what we also want to do at night is visit this the communism self-help group. I don't know. We've got the passphrase to enter there, and it's going to be at 10 o'clock. And I assume we got to leave Kim behind for that. I don't know if he's going to be cool coming there, or the people there will be cool with him being there. It's already going to be a stretch with me being there and convincing them that it's fine, since, we are a cop. Other than that, we still have a million quests over by that church with these party people, guys and girls, over there, which all of them are locked behind that task of opening the freezer to get to that cube key, whatever thingy, which we can't get. We just need skill points and thoughts and gear to have a better chance at doing that. But skill points wise, we are at a 99 out of 100, so we should get a skill point too soon. And what we were going to do last time, I'm going to do now, is talk to Joyce. We haven't talked to her in a while, and we've learned a million things, so I assume we're going to spend some time here. Hopefully not another complete episode, because I think we've done already a bunch of talking to her.
Back.
That's just
Good.
news now.
What can I help you with?
All right. Yeah, I spoke with the lowerman at the roundabout. I guess we could just go through these. All of these have been clicked before, so we got to go in here and check the inside options down the specific trees. So I spoke to the lorryman.
My eyes on the harbour have
Right.
sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
All right, already level up 70 XP. Doesn't that mean that we're already almost again at a level up? Yeah, we're at nice out of 100. Okay, cool. My eyes on the harbor have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? So she already knows about that. Typical. Wait, where exactly are these eyes located? We have discovered enough to conclude for now. Where are they?
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologise for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
See? That's why I don't trust these guys.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
I don't even know. I mean, I'm not interested in that investigation. And I don't even know. Are we even at liberty to talk about that if there was? I mean, she's just some random rep from that company. Why would we tell her that?
She's trying to conceal her excitement, but the slight glimmer in her green eyes tells you otherwise.
Nice. Challenging success. She's trying to conceal her excitement, but the slight glimmer in her green eyes tells you otherwise.
The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
Lieutenant is about to interject. I don't know what he's going to say. I feel like he's a fan of that investigation. We did lose a bit of trust with him when we did not properly tell him that we've met Klasi before, which I felt was kind of weird. Do I want to interject here and just cut him off? I don't really care about this authority shit. I don't know if he's just going to tell her, you don't have to know about that. That's our decision. I feel that actually that is what he would be telling her. So I guess we just believe in him and let him decide, because why would I step in and say, no, we don't do that? Hopefully he does. If not, maybe we can interject again. We'll see. Let him handle that.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I'm sure you understand.
Good shit. That was what I was going to say.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn.
Hit me up at the info.
I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
This series has been a bunch of me talking and guessing what's going to happen before they tell me what's going to happen, so we're going to do that again here. If she says, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands, this sounds like, okay, there's going to be chaos if people are just going to run around and kill whatever representatives or however you want to classify that guy, that military bought guy that got hanged. You could read this as people are going to go violent if these things don't get properly solved and kept in check. But I feel that this means we're going to send more of them and fuck up the Union guys, or I don't know, Titus's group, or pretty much fuck up everyone here just based on the fact that, we got to take care of Titus's group, but in the end everybody is going to be Titus's group, so it's justifiable to oppress everyone here. I think this is what she's actually going for. Let's see. That's my guesswork here. So what was that about a bloodbath? I've already heard about a connection between the lynching and strike, but I need your testimony. That's enough for now. Just gonna complete it. What was that about a bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West. See,
here we go with the fear-mongering. I mean, yeah, I don't know if that actually would turn into a civil war. I think you need more than that, and just this little part of Rivershoal. I mean, it feels like this whole place is ready to blow, because this area here, this part of town, probably is not the only one where things are as fucked up. We've heard about Jamrock, which is supposed to be pretty much like 98% of the way there to being as fucked up as this place. We heard about one other area that was also, I think, part of the revolution. So, there's probably revolutionary sentiment in there as well. So yeah, there is a chance. But this is just classic, corporate whatever, fear-mongering. Because, if there is a small-scale civil war, they will not get any profits from their fucking harbor. So she's probably not a fan of that.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
If there's going to be civil wars, because these people will send people here to fight for them. I've already heard about the connection between the lynching and strike, but I need your testimony.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
See? So their employer hired this PMC, which, we kind of guessed at, or I think we already knew that. Whatever. We already made that connection that he's connected to Wild Pines, I think. And, we didn't really like this person just based on, class consciousness, where she is in the hierarchy. Then she told us about all of that stuff about, this liberal stuff, this ultra-liberal stuff about, I'm not really a fan of how we dealt with the revolution. So we had a little bit more faith in her. She also had that weird, let's say, somewhat tragic backstory of coming here with her friends and just, what did she call it? Bumming it out, I think. Which was understandable, or at least it gave her some depth. But she is not the one to decide. She's just a middleman. The employer is the one deciding here. And this employer's momentary lapse of faith already led to someone dying. People said he raped someone. We don't even know if that actually happened. But, that's one lapse of faith. Why would that not happen again? A momentary lapse of faith. Do you need a security detail? A momentary lapse of faith.
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
So she did her job. This is what she's supposed to do here. Communicate between the union and the the oligarchy, basically. So it's what she did, and this is what happens. What else can she do?
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor.
Oh, it stopped snowing. Sad. Well, do you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenel, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating.
I bet you that guy, the strike leader, the strike breaker leader person, they had a name, but I obviously forgot again. He has to be one of those. I think we've met 2 of them, one being the dead guy, and that strike breaker leading person, whatever. And there's a 3rd guy. I don't know if we've met them. We probably have, but I can't tell which one it is.
They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
Man, shit gets fucked up here. I'm sorry, we're talking a bunch. So they willingly and knowingly send people here that already have, I assume this just means PTSD. It's just, an in-world different expression for that. Highly trained, highly, very extreme hardcore armor and having weapons here with PTSD into this environment. Huh. Who could have guessed?
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant union members to subdue him.
If she says colonel, does that mean that he was the one leading those guys?
He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
What then?
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenel contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now.
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
See? This is very much connected to current day happenings in the world. So, whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants, you know, it's gonna be, we gotta execute all of them. They are just too much of a threat. And because that is so vague and will turn even vaguer and vaguer, you will at one point not even make a distinction between people that are actually in the Union, people that are in this group, or just, you know, random people living here being at least, I don't know, sympathetic with them. At the end, they're all gonna be terrorists and need to die. So, you know, it's a typical way. You've made a mess here. I have to say, this is not Disco. Maybe the investigations can team up, you know, share resources and intelligence. I don't know about that. Boy, oh boy, is that not good. You have made a mess here.
It was the Union who strung him from that tree. My hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before Crenell indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put...
She grabs hold of the mainsail. Mainsail. A wave crashes against the side of a boat. Yeah. It was the Union, sure. But why were these people here?
If you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
They would have to project strength and power.
Maybe you can just warn them.
The debardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
Who is the hornet in this analogy? The debardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1. I think this says if I think the debardeurs are the police here, right? If they come in here, they're the Union members, or at least the militant Union members, are going to be outnumbered as fuck. But I think what she says here, that hornets are, you know, just physically stronger than bees and can fuck up single bees by themselves. Once they get into a beehive, the beehive will, you know, come together and kill the hornet by, you know, surrounding it and killing it with warmth. I don't know if every beehive does that. At least some Japanese beehives do that. So it's basically, you know, the power of the people is going to be stronger than whatever police force they're going to send here. But still, I'm not a fan of pinning this on anyone and just going, yeah, here, kill this one and things are going to be fine, because it's, you know, it's, where's that going to lead?
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1, 2, or in your case, 3 shots. The automatics every 1 or 2 minutes.
As I said, a bloodbath.
And what happens if they kill everyone here? Who's going to take care of the harbor then? I can't see it happen. Too many things would have to go wrong first. Isn't this a pretty bleak scenario you're describing? I think the confrontation is inevitable. I mean, yeah. This seems naive. I can't see this happen. I mean, it's already on the way. Things are being pushed in that way to do it, because, you know, these people are annoying to the CEOs here. So why would they not do that? You know, this also shows how closely connected CEOs and the police are here, because they are virtually one of the same here. Their forces are just going to be used to kill whoever was here. I can't see it happen. Too many things would have to go wrong. This is isn't this a pretty bleak scenario? It's just a dumb option, so we're gonna go with the confrontation is inevitable.
It doesn't have to be like this, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois.
She looks at you, eyes damp from the wind.
One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
No, you won't. You weren't even able to keep these people from coming here because you do not decide. She is not going to be able to. He's going to say, whatever, if it's Titus or whoever we send her, probably if we accepted this, we could have the choice of who to send here. It's not going to end with that guy. It's just not going to be, okay, we got to kill this one and everything is fine from then on out. The people here are not going to be happy with that and they're just not going to roll over and be like, oh, okay. Oh, well, yeah, we've got a point there. Guess we don't strive for a better life anymore. And the people doing the killing here will also be not satisfied because, you know, they're all terrorists here. We got to kill everyone here. This is how it's going to play out. So why would we just send the first lamb to the slaughter here? What can you tell me about Crenell? Who is Crenell? Did she hint at Crenell? My hope is that you provide a single country suspect before Crenell indiscriminately pick theirs. God damn it, who is Crenell? There are many two Crenell. Okay, the contractors are Crenell. What can you tell me about Crenell? You said the deceased assaulted a woman, this colonel, the one who was hanged. Did you know him? Where are the remaining two mercs now? How much time do we have? That's enough now. I mean, this is all important information, and it's information that we need to get to Everard. You know, because he is the one organizing stuff here, so we will not just stand idly by. I don't know how much he can do, but you know. So I guess we just go through all of these here. What can you tell me about Crenell?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell.
Their public resume is relatively good. Private military contractors just being sent somewhere to kill or at least oppress someone for someone else's gain. Yeah, they got a very good resume.
They boast a long list of clients: Saint-Baptiste, Welchman Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
War zones, yeah. Colonized war zones with people fighting against that.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors.
Good.
Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands. Countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Okay, anything else you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources.
She thinks? What does that mean, she thinks? How do I know what she thinks?
If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
She thinks again. Alright. This is just because she assumes?
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, ma'am?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell.
Could you contract the company, tell them to call them off?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
Yeah, also these orders have to be decided on in, you know, some board meetings. And in the meantime, just gonna go in here and just go rampant.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
Yeah, she's pressing them as hard as she can, but she cannot press hard because she is not in the position to do that. You said that the deceased assaulted a woman? Question mark?
He didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Who did the passing on then? What did these teenagers by the canal say? Who was that? Was that
The
Kujo,
remaining
Kuno?
contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
Okay. What did these teenagers say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
It's the story that the Titus group, the Hardy Boys, is telling. And the fact that it seems to be the accepted story here seems that either everyone is going with it, which, seems like a bigger union in here, or people just accepted that because these guys said it.
This does not come as news to us, but still. To your knowledge, where did this assault take place, if you know?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
I know the woman you're talking about. We have it under control. Don't mention it. And who was this woman? Yeah, I'm not going to be honest with her.
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
This colonel, the one who was hanged, did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
You don't know how you know. It's not written on her face, nor in her voice. But she had sympathy for this man.
Damn. Challenge success. Empathy. Let's go. You liked him?
Liked is a bit strong. He was the most charismatic among them. He handled all the talking. His departure left a major gap in the group's communication skills.
Which probably aren't super high. This is not a group that's all about communication. His name was?
Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Okay. Tell me about the others first. This Lely. Anything else? Nationality? How old would you say he was? Tell me about the others.
One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
I'm not sure if we've met that person.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
There's a pang of regret in her voice.
That's all right, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body, and Classier also mentioned it, I believe. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
That's a lot of information for meeting a person just once. Feels like she had a thing for him too. Where are the remaining two mercs now?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
Vigilantes. The RCM gets its authority from the coalition. Where does theirs come from? Money. We still need to know where they are. We'll confront them directly. Okay, we'll steer clear for the moment. We still need to know where they are. I mean, yeah, I'm interested in what she has to say about that. Because this just seems like, overarching political stuff. This will not lead anywhere, but let's see.
Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them to stand down.
We still need to know where they are.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
It's a logic check, medium. Where are these mercenaries? Sent by the Pines, scab leader, murder, bad reply. Yeah, the scabs. The scabs is what we are thinking about. Clothes didn't fit right, scab leader back acting. Yeah, so the guy leading the scabs, the guy in front of the closed gate screaming to be let in and work for basically free.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbour gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
One must be the goon in ill-fitting work clothes by the harbor gates, the scab leader. One is probably in the building overlooking the roundabout. I had another question for you. So first one.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
Well, the hornet is gonna come here either way, so...
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
See? This is why she can't do anything here. She has no power. She's just, there to convey messages. It doesn't matter what her thoughts on all of this are, because the decisions are made at the higher level. So unless we speak to the higher level and, we're not going to convince them, these are not people that you just convince by anything. This is going to happen. So which means there is no way around that but to take care of that and then get the knowledge about all of that shit to Everard or whoever might be in charge and take care of that in a better way, or at least be prepared.
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
Well, I don't know if there's peacekeeping between these guys, but sure. One is probably in the building overlooking the roundabout.
Would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a shortwave at the ship's wheel.
She nods toward the sloop's cabin. Okay. Can I use that, or at least get the wavelength that I have to check for? Because isn't our phone in our car also shortwave? I don't know.
I hope I can answer it better.
How much time do we have?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob and their impatience.
Well, they are military contractors. I don't think patience is very, very important for these guys.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
All right, so they are completely vigilantes, highly armed and trained vigilantes that are here. One of them, the colonel, we assume he was the leader of them, just because why would he have that title, that honorific title, whatever? He already is the one who was drunk and high for, forever. So these people have been sent here and now they just act on their own. There's no control here.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
That's enough for now.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Now can you tell me about these tattoos? I think I've shown her these tattoos before and she probably didn't give us an answer until we did something for her. So I guess that's why this option is here now.
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
She reaches over the guard wire and takes the photo, holds it in her hand.
For about half a minute, in silence.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Stay quiet, observe the woman's expression. What do you think? Observe.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface. She has no excess of emotions for this cadaver. Has she seen dead bodies before? It's likely.
Okay. That leaves the question, where did she see dead bodies? Probably in other ventures of her employer all across the globe, or I don't know if it's even a globe here, all across the world, where similar things happened. What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars.
More information about that tattoo stuff and what it actually means?
I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Like blossoms in a pattern say nothing. Like blooms in a pattern?
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century, over 300 years ago. The sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
Okay. What is the use of this map? What travels did the dead man take? Who could tell me more? That's all for the tattoos. Thank you for your help. What is the use?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Cool concept.
Where is he now?
This one is going nowhere but the morgue.
The times have changed.
What travels did the dead man take?
Quite a few.
Make.
Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
This Vredefort, she points to it on the photo. This guy apparently had that tattoo.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semnes Islands, then this.
She points to his heart. What is that?
Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
So, there's some geographical location on here. Apparently not exactly the same ones as in usual tattoos of this kind. But that's also because he isn't a sailor, he is a PMC. So, probably either places where he, was sent on missions. Places where he maybe killed people. Places where he, fell in love, whatever. Some importance here. Not exactly connected to being a sailor, but probably to, basically it has to be connected to his job and whatever horrific shit he did there. Maybe good shit. Probably not.
In Martinez looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside there is a siren. Distant gunshots on the streets of the Jamrock Quarter.
Is this one of those introspective thingies again? In Martinez looking into Krenel. He writes in one, and the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside there's a siren, distant gunshots in the streets of the Jamrock Quarter. It's probably could be me or one of those weird visions, let's say, where we got to know the viewpoint of some other people that were looking into us. So this man is no bother of mine, but this is his service history. Okay.
That
I
makes
guess.
sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
I guess. So no deeper meaning?
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
Who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
You know, I doubt that. I doubt these people are friends.
It could go this or the other way. Maybe if you're tactful, it could be beneficial.
These people live to at one point die on the field, so I don't know if they'd really be, oh my god, how could this happen? How can you show this to me? Also, they will have seen much worse shit, so... I need the information, mark it down, ask mercs about tattoo. You're right, not a good idea. No, I'm gonna ask them.
Do what you have to do, Detective Dubois. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. But if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you.
We will be careful, Matt.
That's all for the tattoos. Thank you for your help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
I don't know if there's some stuff in here, so we're just gonna go through these options and see.
Oh?
Oh. Mr. Everett helped me find my gun. I guess.
Stupendous. I didn't think he'd pull through.
Check it out. Pull out your gun. No need to flash my gun around. Let's just say I have it now. Thank God. Pet your gun. Both are dumb. I'm gonna go with the second one.
Thank God. And indeed, Mr. Everett as well. In this investigation, one may have use for a firearm. You wouldn't want to get caught with your pants down.
All right.
Of course, Detective. You can always drop by later, should something come up. Now, what else can I do for you?
I don't think there's gonna be new stuff about her
What would you like
boat.
to know?
No.
Good.
Tell me about Wild
What
Pines.
we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
Okay. Fair enough. Tell me something
She
else.
nods.
Tell me about the strike.
course.
There's nothing new gonna be in here, no?
Of course. How else can I help?
The lynching.
Of course. Anything. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news.
All right.
If there is anything else I can help you with,
I don't know if
please
there's
ask.
more stuff about this reality. I think we had all
Lessons
that.
in basic reality.
No. Okay.
Glad to have been of
All
assistance.
right. Cool. So this has been almost episode filling. We've got 2 skill points now, and we are almost halfway to getting another one. I'm not sure what to get actually. I think I want to save at least 1 skill point for a new idea. We've got this wasteland of reality down to 5 hours, and we still have 3 more slots here for new ideas. We don't have any ideas that I specifically care about here, so I'm not gonna get them. But maybe we can find new ideas. I hope that we get new ideas at the communist meeting. Other than that, skill-wise, I don't really know if we need anything at the moment. To be fair, we obviously need hand-eye coordination to, you know, finally take care of that. Several quests here. I think analyzing that gun, not the gun, the bullet fragments is a hand-eye coordination check, I think, right?
The bullet is
Yeah.
still safely sealed away.
And we got a
Plastic bag
42%
bearing
here.
The RCM stamp.
So that's kind of good. I'd like to have a skill point in there. So, quests. Ask the scab leader. Talk to Classy again. That's what we're going to do tonight. How late is it, by the way? Oh, it's already at 6. Oh, wait, maybe we should actually go to that guy. I don't know how long they stand there. And talking to him would probably take some time. And then it might be late enough to send Kim off. and meet Klaasje and then go to the communist meeting. Although I will prioritize the communist meeting over Klaasje. Alright. See you at that scab leader guy.